and virtual media. If you are attending in person, please wait until your section is called and walk up to the microphone to ask your question. If you are participating virtually, please use the Zoom hand raise feature under the Reactions tab to queue yourself in line for a question. Please make sure to introduce yourself by name and outlet and to direct your question to a player to avoid delays. Please note we may not be able to answer all questions. We will begin with on-site media. You can go ahead and feel free to line up as well.
Hi, my name is Tanner Metro. I'm here representing VALORANTing. My first question is the only question I have about the matchup. Yeah, coming into this one, it's to you, Claudia. Cloud9 is a team that's been on everybody's radar coming into this one. I was just wondering if there was anything that you noticed on the server today that was different or surprising, more than what you were expecting from them.
Hi, Tanner. So I think that there's nothing surprising. I think everyone knows that Cloud9 is a good team. I think that the biggest issue we had is we kind of let them control the game. And I think we had a really, really slow start. And I think for the most part, that's coming from me as the in-game leader. I feel like I had trouble adapting, reading situations. So overall, I wasn't surprised by how they played, but I don't think that was our best at all. And I think that, maybe it was my first time playing against them and there's a lot of hype around them. And normally I'm not a person that gets nervous under pressure, but the way that they were playing, they were very confident. And I think that they shut us down a lot. And I feel like we just struggled to find a solution early. And we talked about the first map after, and then kind of going into map 2, we had an idea of how we want to approach it. But they got a lot of good clutches, Bob particularly. And it kind of we've never had a good economy going.
And then another one to you, Claudia. I guess, what are some of the things that you've learned about your team being at this event? This is obviously the first major that we're seeing in Valorant. You have, stranger to the FPS scene. But with this team specifically, what are some of your takeaways?
I think we have a lot of potential. I think that, again, similar to Shopify, I think we were very shaky versus Shopify, and we were very shaky today during Cloud9. I think some of my teammates had really good moments, but it wasn't like us. We lose as a team and we win as a team. And I feel like ultimately today, this wasn't our best showing. And I think that I'm sure when we do VOD reviews, the answers will become clear. But I feel like just from the beginning, we just didn't have a good game plan. And I think that going into a next event, the solution there will be that to trust each other, trust ourselves, and just practice exactly how our scrims are. But I feel like we didn't play at all. The environment was different. The practice, the calls were different. Everything was just really different. And I think that next time, this will be something that's going to be at the top of our heads, just so that when we do play, we play exactly how we play normally.
Okay, and then I'm going to come right back to you for this one then, kind of along the same lines. Do you mind, I guess, thank you for that answer, but I was thinking more positive takeaways, right? What did you guys learn about yourselves at this event?
So positive takeaways, I think there was we're very happy. We're a very happy team. So even when we get 1 or 2 rounds and the score's 1-6, it's kind of a momentum based, we're a very momentum based team. And, sometimes that's how our biggest victories have started, is when we are calm and when we someone will get a cool round, and then for example, Smurfette got the pistol kill and she won us on defense. It was, I think, on defense she got us the pistol round, and it was we had momentum for a while, and then second round we kind of won that, and then third round we lost the bonus. But overall I feel like we're very mentally strong. And when except for that, I don't know what that game against C9 was. I don't think that was anything remotely to us, but when I think about my other games versus G2 in the previous series, I think we're very mentally strong. Losing a map does not mean anything to us, and I think I saw a lot of glimpses like that at this event. I also think that because this is our first time, actually this is our second time meeting. Previously to that, we were at a boot camp, and at the boot camp that was our first time meeting for a lot of us. But going into this one, I felt like we could truly bond, and it's been an exciting experience.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Hello, girls. I'm Cecilia from Esports. My question is also for Claudia and Roxy. How do you reflect on your preparation coming into the tournament?
Preparation wise, we have we're very confident outside of like this event. We wanted to focus on ourselves. So what that means, like we kind of had an idea of Cloud, like in particular for this match, we kind of had an idea of Cloud9 played. We know that Mel likes to play sites alone and the others are kind of in the other area. And we saw a lot of that during Haven. But I think for the most part, we just want to focus on our game plan. Something that we really do struggle with is anti-stratting and adapting to the opponents. And something that we really excel at, despite this game that you saw here, is playing our own game, focusing on our strengths and kind of just working the game and having them adapt to us. So I think in terms of preparation, we didn't really, watch. And we know Haven's a comfort pick for them, but it's actually a comfort pick for us. Again, I don't think what we saw today was our best Haven, but ultimately, I think that we just focus on ourselves.
Yeah, I agree with what Claudia said. Usually we don't give any team any extra treatment, basically. So we focus on our game. We wanted to take the lead. We said from the beginning, we want to be the dominant team. We want them to adapt to us. So that was basically our game plan. But while we were playing, it turns out that they basically switched it around. Like they got the upper hand, and then we had trouble adapting to this, like as Claudia said earlier. So, but like our main intentional game plan is we wanted them to be scared of us. We wanted to take the lead, and that's not how it went, unfortunately.
And my next question is actually for everyone who feels comfortable in sharing. In the next Game Changers LAN, what would you like Riot to improve?
I think the biggest thing was the scheduling and the arrival of coming into the venue. So I'll give an example. Like the hotel is 1 hour away. Yesterday, we finished our match and we came back at 1 a.m. And we were the second match here. And because of how the arrival turns, our shuttle is at 12. It's a 1 hour travel. Like you have to be up pretty early and you don't get a lot of time of preparation. So after we beat Fennel yesterday, we instantly had to go to bed and we didn't get any chances to VOD review. And for us, that's kind of a struggle in terms of by VOD review, I mean focusing on our mistakes, not necessarily VOD reviewing C9, but focusing on us. So for particularly for me, it was really hard to come home, go back to the hotel room, wake up early and then have to come and play. And there hasn't been a lot of opportunities for practice. Because when I think about previous tournaments or even boot camps, we always have a few warm-up scrims. We always vibe. But here I feel like it was really hard to get in that practice time to be able to perform. We're not a team that usually starts strong. What we need is a lot of warm-up games. So particularly in tournaments, we'll play 2 warm-up scrims or 1. And I feel like the time here wasn't available. And then I think the other thing that I would want Riot to improve on is in terms of the format was good. Everything was like that. I just feel like I wish the hotel wasn't so far away because I don't like the 1 hour travel. But yeah.
If anyone else wants to add anything to? Thank you.
My name is Julian. Outlet is Sport1. Question for Ness. How has this LAN experience, playing offline and playing in front of a crowd, has that affected your gameplay? And how did you feel the atmosphere? Was that a new experience for you? How did you enjoy it?
Hi. I was really nervous because it's my first LAN, and first day it was really hard for me. Then I was normal. Yeah, it's excited and nervous basically for me.
And then a question for Anya. What do you think, what impact has an event like this of this size for esports, especially for the female community of esports?
Can you repeat the question again, please?
What do you think what will the esports scene take as a result, or what's the impact of an event like this, especially for female gamers, for the esports scene in general? So what is it, motivation, or what will players and maybe new persons who want to get into esports, what is this event? What does this event mean for them?
Sorry, I don't understand.
He's saying this event, because it's so big, it's 500K, it's the best regions, the teams from the region. What kind of impact does this have on people watching? Let's say there's a girl watching the games, what would she see? Would she be motivated, etc.? What do you think the impact is from this event?
Otherwise, if anyone else.
Yeah. I mean, when I was playing, when I was young and when I was playing, I wanted to see a lot of tournaments for girls. And if I was them, the other girls watching this tournament right now, I would be so happy and hype. And I would probably buy a new computer and try to play the games and be here, Like,
Follow-up question. And what does now actually being here on the player side, what does that make you feel?
it was really my dream, and obviously my dream was winning the Game Changers, but it's even like better being here as well, even if we lose. Like I had experience now that I was missing, and like I play with my friends online and in front of the crowd, and it was like really good for me. Like big
Thank you so much.
experience. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will now move to questions from press on Zoom. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature under the Reactions tab to queue yourself in line for a question. Please introduce yourself and direct your question to a player to avoid delays. You'll hear a question in your headset from our press that are joining us virtually through the recording. Okay, no problem. We'll start with Krishanu from Sportskeeda.
Hi guys, I'm Krishanu from Sportskeeda. I'd like to direct my question to Ness. Since it is your first time in a LAN event, I would like to ask, like, if you felt there was a certain agent pick on the second map, that is Haven, that did not have much of an impact as the team expected.
Okay, I didn't understand. Like, what do you mean?
He's asking on the second map, Haven.
Yeah.
Do you think our composition caused issues?
No, I don't think so. Like, if we lose as a team today, like not comp or anything, like.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to Kushal from Sportskeeda.
Hey guys, I'm Kushal from Sportskeeda. My question would be for everyone. I would just like to ask, like, do you think adding Chamber to the composition would have been more viable for this particular matchup?
Maybe, because there was a lot of times where we had the initial peak, but I think shots were missed whatsoever, and in that situation, one always could need a teleport that can just get you out of this, out of the pickle, basically. So yes, in some situations it could have helped, but then again, this was our comfort agents, is what we wanted to play, and it's not like we would like just switch an agent just because we feel insecure and think that we can't hit a shot sometimes.
Another follow-up question for Roxy. I would just like to ask, can we see you play Chamber in the future?
I used to play Chamber actually, but then people saw him more as an entry in Duelist, and then Smurfette took my spot as Chamber, unfortunately. But I do generally like Chamber. I do feel comfortable in him, and who knows what the future holds and like what agents get added or what changes are going to be made, and maybe in the future you'll see me on Chamber again.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
We'll go to Scott from .esports.
Hello, thank you. Scott Robertson from .esports. This question is for Claudia. Obviously a great accomplishment for the team just in reaching this event, but based on the expectations that you guys had set for yourself, would you consider this run still a bit of a disappointment?
Hi, Scott. Yes, very much so. I think that we were here to win it. I think that the results we showed versus Shopify, I think that should have been a 2-0 win for us. I think we were very shaky the first matchup, etc. But ideally, we should have closed out Pearl. We had a lot of opportunities to do so, and we should have closed out Haven. Now, in terms of that, like when I think about that, I feel like just in general, our results weren't here 100%. There's a lot of like nerves in the first LAN, etc. There was a lot of issues, and I feel overall like these results are not okay. Like under no circumstance am I going to say like it's okay to lose to C9 White. I think they're a great team, but I also think we're a great team. I don't think today what we showed was us being a great team. Again, we do lose as a team, we win as a team, but I do think that we're much better than what we showed today and what we showed versus Shopify. I think it is a big thing about experience, especially under pressure. I think that like, you know, when I think about us at boot camp or at home playing versus G2 is a great team, but I feel like we have a lot more composure, a lot more control, and this kind of stuff. But today I feel like we didn't have that. And like I said earlier, I think this was mostly coming from me, but ultimately I don't think that the results we had today was good. I think that for us, we all expected to get pretty far. We expected to win, and we expected to see G2 in the finals.
If I can ask a follow-up question to that, when I spoke to Benita from Shopify yesterday, she said that she hoped that the next stage for NA would be to have their events on LAN. We've seen at this event how important LAN experience is. Team Liquid Brazil played on LAN this year. G2 has a ton of LAN experience. Do you think that is the next step for EMEA teams as well?
Yeah, I think LAN experience is huge. I think it's been exciting to play on stage, but again, this is like, I also have a lot of LAN experience. I know it didn't seem like it based on my results today, but I also have a lot of LAN experience, and it's a completely different environment compared to playing online. So I would love to see, especially under pressure and down the scene, to see like more teams playing on LAN, especially in EMEA. It would be so cool if all the Game Changer events in Europe were on LAN. That would be exciting and it would be fun.
Thank you.
This concludes the first press conference. Thank you to the players who participated. We will take a 15-minute break to prepare for the second press conference in the same Zoom link here. Thank you so much, Gildex.
Breath.
Okay. Welcome to the VALORANT Game Changers Championship Berlin Day 4 Match 2 press conference. We're joined by Cloud9 White, Jazzykins, Alexis, Mel, Katsumi, and Bob. We will take questions from both in-person and virtual media. If you are attending in person, please line in front of the mic, and then we will go to Zoom and use the hand raise feature under the reactions tab to queue yourself in line for a question. Please introduce yourself by name and outlet and direct your question to a player to avoid delays. We'll go ahead and start with in-person questions.
Hi, my name is Julian for Sport One. Question for Alexis. Congratulations on the win over Guild. This has been a very one-sided performance. Guild did not really look like they stood too big of a chance. Was that win expected? And if so, was it expected that clearly?
Yeah, we watched them play. We watched all their VODs back, and they're just a very predictable team. We kind of knew what they were doing basically every single round, and so we could prep for that. Yeah, there was nothing crazy going into it. We knew that we would win very easily that match.
Okay. And a question for Bob. Did you what does it take for Cloud9 to take the win in the finals potentially against G2? And who are you expecting to play if you get thus far?
To be honest, I think we'll win the next time around, like no matter what we do, but I think we'll verse G2.
Then last question to whoever wants to answer. Playing an offline stage, how is that for you as a team affected? And how does it maybe put you closer together as a team?
I think we thrive in a LAN environment, and I can speak for me and Kat. I think we actually kind of get like a LAN buff, to be honest. Our PCs at home are a little bit worse, honestly, than the stage PCs, and it feels like we thrive off the energy, and we love the crowd. And honestly, playing with like the lights on and everything, it's very cool. I don't think any of us have had any negative detriment from playing on LAN.
Okay, yeah, well then best of luck for the remaining matches. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Cecilia from .esports. My first question is for Mel. You'll play against Tropify Rebellion next. Did you have the time to check their gameplay? And if so, what are your thoughts on them?
So far, we've seen their gameplay passively, just looking, from the ready room and just watching their games as they go on before ours. And same as usual, really, nothing too impressive, nothing crazy that we haven't already seen. So we're very confident. We're very used to playing against NA GC teams.
Then general question for everyone who is willing to answer. In the next Game Changers LAN, what would you like Riot to improve?
I feel like they're doing a pretty good job. I haven't had any issues so far. I hope the regional GCs are on LAN though in the future, and it's not just the internationals on LAN, but all the GCs are on LAN. That's what I hope.
Anyone else wants to add anything to that?
I think it'd be really cool to see how big of a crowd GC could actually get. I'm aware that the tickets for this sold out very quickly, so it'd be really interesting to see how big of a crowd in the future that GC can ascertain.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tanner Metro. I'm representing VALORANT team. I've got a question for Alexis. I guess Mel, you could probably hop in on this one too, but just previously you said that you watched GuildX's VODs back, you expected to beat them. Obviously, that can also be a detriment when you're overlooking teams and kind of looking towards your next matchup. So how do you keep from doing that when you're expecting to win so handedly?
We take it day by day, match by match. So we're not thinking ahead. Obviously, especially because we found out we were going to be playing Shopify and we really don't have to overthink for that team because we've played them so many times that there's nothing really that they could pull out to, catch us off guard at this point. So just going into the guild match, we learned a lot from our G2 match that, we realized we were kind of in our heads in the G2 match and we were kind of overthinking it. So going into the guild match, we had our prep and we had a lot ready for them, but we were playing our own game for sure the whole time.
And then I've got a question for Bob. Bob, I think you're highly regarded as one of, if not the best player, and there are a lot of eyes on you for this tournament in particular. How do you keep from kind of crumbling under the pressure because you just keep fragging out?
To be honest, I don't really experience the pressure personally.
All right. And then Mel, coming into this one, obviously a loss, now a pretty handed win. What's the mindset like? And is there anything that you guys changed up, or did you guys just show up today from that G2 matchup now to the very dominant GuildX win?
I mean, that's exactly what happened. We just showed up confident. And I think even in our loss versus G2 Goes, and we are still a better team. I wholeheartedly believe that. Obviously, they beat us once, but it's very hard to beat the same team twice. And we were all very confident going into a rematch with them, hopefully grand finals.
Thank you. Best of luck.
We will now move to questions from press on Zoom. Please use the Zoom hand raise feature under the reactions tab to queue yourself in line for a question. Please introduce yourself and direct your question to a player to avoid delays. We'll start with Scott.
Hello, thank you. Scott Robertson from Esports here. This is another question for Mel. A bit building on the question that was just asked. You talked about obviously confidence being much higher today compared to G2. Other than that, what do you think was the biggest issue or mistake that you made in the G2 series? And do you think whatever that was fixed or improved upon today against Guild?
The issues we faced in the G2 game have absolutely been fixed. It was honestly entirely on us. It was more of like a mindset thing more than them outplaying us, in my opinion. If you watch the game back and you listen to their comms, that is all I'm really going to say about that. We are the better team and we just don't want to overplay ourselves. And it's really us that beat ourselves, honestly.
We'll go to Krishanu.
Hi guys, I'm Krishanu from Sportskira. I'd like to direct my question to Mel. So my question is, you guys have played against Shopify Rebellion a lot. So going forward, can we expect to see a more aggressive strategy that you guys take up on to surprise them, or will you be depending on them to make mistakes?
We play our own game when it comes to matches, and if the mistakes come out, they're usually forced by us. They don't just make the mistake most of the time. But actually, take it back. These teams actually make a lot of mistakes. We just capitalize. But same as we've always been, we don't really want to overplay too deeply into the prep. Just play our own game.
Thank you.
And Kushal.
Hey guys, my question would be for everyone. I would like to ask, as this game was really one-sided, what are the mistakes, from your opinion, that Guild did that helped you capitalize on them?
If I talk, I am in big trouble. Let's say I would rather not discuss it because a lot of the teams of this event make very similar mistakes, and I would like for them to learn it on their own.
All right, thank you.
This concludes our press conference. Thank you to the players who participated. Thank you so much, Cloud9.
Recording stopped.